Hey there, hey there. It is the month of November, and we are doing our cover reveal with Senita M today because November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month. What does that have to do with Senita Hill? Well, we're going to bring her on so she can explain. But she was also part of the Speak Sell Shine cohort, and she was also the winner of the top speaker for women's issues. Welcome, Sunita. Welcome. How are you?
I am well. How are you, Dr. Pam?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I am just like so glad to have you here. Well, good, good, good. So one of the things, you are hailing from Washington, D.C., and this issue is really all about this particular one about power, which is a very powerful pose, purpose, and philanthropy. And so tell us a little bit about this piece on Patuxent. I think I said it right, that is behind you, and how it came about and why we're celebrating it in November.
So, peace on Patuxent, actually. And first, let me thank you for the platform and Speakers Magazine and the actual yes, the Speakers Magazine, Speak Sell Shine. It's just an honor and a privilege. So, peace on Patuxent came about out of my own personal experiences, particularly with my mom and lung cancer. About 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with MGUS, which is a precursor to for African American women multiple myeloma, and in the Caucasian community, you hear about it more on leukemia. So I was diagnosed with that, and shortly thereafter, my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer. And so I sort of put my things to the side, although I was still, just the intro, although we were still monitoring it, but I focused on my mom and trying to get people or trying to raise awareness and get an understanding of what it meant for a woman to have lung cancer, what services were available, how could we help her, and so in that, it helped me to understand her journey, what she needed in hindsight, what she needed, what I could have done, and then take away what worked for her. And what worked for her was sitting in the garden, meditating, just sitting there in her stillness. Needless to say, after my mom transitioned, my best friend also transitioned from lung cancer 18 months later. And I tell you that she was with me as my support and rock as we were helping my mom because I had babies, I had young kids, so she was helping me. And I tell any woman that if your mother and your best friend transitions within 18 months, all you can do is hold on.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
with and hold on to your God, and definitely that's what kept me. But
mhm,
what my mom's transition did was it helped me to identify the gaps that were missing for women who were diagnosed with lung cancer. We know about breast cancer, but there was very little services for a woman of color with lung cancer. So there came about. This is how Peace on Patuxent began to unfold. I did not know that he was preparing me for this venue. But that's how it began. Going into places, seeing. After my mom transitioned, I thought, okay, I'm done with the community. Actually, they told me I was done with the community. We have nothing else for you. And I was like, but I'm out here. I'm championing. I'm raising awareness. I'm raising funds. So what else? And needless to say, that the American Lung Association, I was reaching out to them constantly. I could see all these things going on in the District of Columbia and in the area for breast cancer, but I didn't see anybody out on the front line for lung cancer.
mhm, mhm. That's
Reached,
true.
yeah, and when I reached out to them, they told me that I was informed. I'll say it that way. I was informed that the headquarters had moved from DC to Chicago because the rent was too high.
Mhm,
And I was like, so you give us nothing because the rent was too high and we're here. And so I began to just kick their door down. I think as a result of me kicking their door down, they brought in a campaign called Lung Force.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Lung Force, which was in CVS's and it was in different places. And so Lung Force was the intro for women
Ah.
diagnosed with lung cancer. I was their ambassador for 3 years, champion fundraiser, speaking for them. And then one day, I noticed that I didn't see the funds going back to women that look like me.
Mm.
And so I was just so frustrated. I was done. And in my doneness and in my stillness, as time moved on, I thought it was over. And I can tell you that I know that God whispered in my ear.
And so, where did the facility come from, Senita?
The facility is my property. It's my residence that I turned in to Peace on Patuxent. And I always tell, I'll say that I didn't turn it in. I was ready to sell and retire.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe God turned it in, and He told me that this would be Peace on Patuxent. So
Ah.
I share with everyone, I'm squatting. Squatting. We don't even call it my home. It's the property.
It's
And
property.
so it is the property of Peace on Patuxent. And we had in one of our visits when we did our grand opening, one of our councilmen said, "I could see that you've already outgrown this property." And I said, "We have, and we're looking for another one already."
Wow.
So that's Peace on Patuxent. And that's how we got there. Just the
And,
long.
and and one of the things you said with your mom, the one thing that really helped was that she was in the garden, and then that they remain. When you're going through treatment, it's grueling. It's
Yeah,
very grueling. You're going through chemo and things like that, so you need a respite of where you can actually uh, have mindfulness, tranquility, camaraderie. Do you have workshops there as well?
yes. We bring in anything that we bring in all exercises that allow women to be intentional and centered. So we
Mm.
do light yoga, light meditation. We've had various types of activities, but it's all to bring them into centeredness and to focus on community. And a community is that group that is here at that time.
That is so good. And it's open and it's no charge for any woman who is going through those kind of life threatening
Yes, ma'am.
diseases of cancer.
Yes,
That
yes.
that is excellent. So let's talk a little bit about your now you've done this for 5 years, and let's talk a little bit about your background of how God did really whisper in your ear, but he could have whispered into someone else's ear and they not have had all the skills to really pull it together because of your skill set. Let's talk a little bit about that and then how you're leveraging that for your workshop series and things like that that you're doing.
Absolutely. So, by trade, I have been working with the federal government now for 21 years, and I am a project manager by trade. I tell everyone that, being a project manager, one of the things that I had to learn was how to lead from the bottom up, from the impact. And so that helped me to begin to really look at the business portion of it and, in listening, but what's the business portion? Because and talking with Ryan, we have these passions of the heart, but they can fail if we don't have the right skill set. And
Mhm.
so
And
you
systems.
know,
And
so
systems. Skill sets and systems. Those are the things.
absolutely, absolutely. So that's where it all just sort of came together. I just try to stay. I tell people most days I'm in my house. Most days I'm just crying because I believe that he is constantly using me and I have to stay and listen. So I'm always face down somewhere, just bawling my tears, my eyes out. And when I see the women, the impact on the women who we have a whole program called the Ambassador Program.
Oh,
And these are women who are diagnosed and have been diagnosed and came through our program who decided, I want to work for you. I want to
mm,
champion and I want to get out in the community. So we have a whole program called the Ambassador Program.
wow.
And I share with people and our work and our delegates and persons that if these women and I have seen them come out even with their treatment, if they can come out and speak before you after coming out of chemo and radiation to tell you how important it is for them to come through Peace on Patuxent, then we should just be proud to have such an organization
Hmm.
led. We should just be proud.
Yeah, that is one of the things because chemo is really hard. I just have a friend that just went through it, and it zaps your energy. It just really is a whole type of experience that needs a support, needs the community, it needs the garden, it needs, like those kind of things to really just fill your cup back up, and
Mm,
that's what you're doing. So
absolutely.
so that's the work that you've done for your career that really is like putting it into the next phase
Mhm.
for other people to even start nonprofits as well, because as a project manager you've got to know the sequence and the steps and the systems of all the things, and then when you have a nonprofit it's very very clear that the the financials are very laid out, and then even going for grants and things like that, that's something that uh, you probably help people with as well. Like you said, you're a fundraising ambassador for other organizations, so now you're doing all of this thing as well. So tell us a little bit about how you put together the organization and the board, I guess you would say, and how you pull that together, and how long did it take you?
So, COVID taught me something. It taught a lot of things. First of all, during COVID, I'll tell you, we had to do the beta. And again, it was from the heart. It was really
Hmm.
from the heart. I felt like I'd already been there. I had the experience, and there's another side of the house that we have that I have, and I talk about the reclaim method. But in researching, looking at what I had done, and I thought that was it. But during COVID, I had two friends, two new friends, and not two new, but two friends who didn't know each other, and we did a beta. They didn't know we were doing a beta, but we were doing a beta. And my question to them first was, if you could go to this place, and I showed them this place, would you go? And I was willing to take each one of them there. They were both going through their struggles, identical, didn't know each other,
Mhm.
and so we did the research first. And when I shared it to them, the response was, well, how am I going to get there on my best day? Like, how? So that then sparked, okay, you have to figure it out. But what they didn't know was that they were already here. It was the one that we were establishing, that I was establishing. But it had to encompass what was lacking.
Mhm.
And that was
Mhm.
transportation,
Yes.
that was a place where they could feel comfortable, see women like themselves, women of color, ethnic
Mhm.
women is what I charge it. And they could see that. So once they came together and I saw the spark because they just met, and the food, as you know, you put food on the table, it just changes the whole momentum. On
Mhm.
Monday night, we were here and they were like, oh my goodness. And it just sparked everything. So I knew one was here recovering from her
Chemo.
second bout of mastectomy. She had a second mastectomy because it
Oh,
came back behind the second implant. Plant, yes.
goodness.
She was a third time cancer survivor. Second implant, it had come back. So all of this was going on, but I knew we had to be sterile. You couldn't have a lot of people. So it was listening to these women who was teaching me what to say. I had the one that transitioned. Both of them had breast cancer. One transition, and
Mm.
what she did every night, every Friday night, she was my date, and my date was sitting beside her, going through her lymphedema, picking her up from her treatments, and listening to her because I told her I wanted to start Peace on Patuxent.
Oh, okay.
Said, okay, so here's what we need to do. And she sat beside we I sat beside her bed every night as if I was practicing for a solo,
Mhm.
and she would tell me the notes to hit. You cannot say this because this is not it. That's where it started. She helped me with the wording. Life leveling was birth on
Mhm.
one side of a bed on a Friday night,
Mhm.
and it was
Mhm.
the betas that told me this is what we're not seeing, Sanita. From
Mhm.
there, and this was all through COVID. From there, I began to put everything in place. First, we had to get, what is it that these women want other women to know? What is it that they want that they want the world to hear and understand? And from there, I put a board in place.
Mm.
I held an unveiling.
Okay.
Were not a part of it. They weren't because they had already given me their input. And the unveiling brought women. And all of the women were like, we want to be a part of it. We want to help. So we went down and picked out the board, and we went through all of that and the advisors. And of course, you got to submit. I tell
Right.
everyone, I don't care what you think. My partner in Peace on Patuxent is Uncle Sam. I have to make, he is my partner. And I
Mm,
have to make sure that I am compliant with him
that's it.
for various reasons.
Mhm, mhm.
For various reasons. But that is my business partner. And I have to do right.
Yeah, like,
My
being compliant is really a big part of running any nonprofit, and the
Yes.
board, and training the board, and leadership training for the board. And so your talk that you did for Speak Sell Shine talked about leadership training and
Yes.
really your processes that you put in place and even the frameworks. So let's talk a little bit about reclaim. That's one way. So with any nonprofit, it can go by individual donations, it can go by grants, it can be funded from private investors, or it can be
Absolutely.
funded by another business, is what you have, which is uh,
Yes.
SMH
Consult.
Consulting.
Yes. Yes.
And what you consult on is really what you did when you pulled together the piece on Patuxent. So
Absolutely.
let's talk about how all this fits together and your reclaim framework that you speak on. And you spoke on it just recently too, besides Speak Sell Shine at the Howard Theater,
Yes.
but you also spoke at the National, I want to say
Business.
the National Association, uh,
National Business League Conference.
yes, National
Yes.
Business
The
League Conference as well. So you spoke,
Quacentennial. I believe it's
yes.
the Quacentennial. Think I said that right.
Yes, yes, yes. So that was the very first time that you had
Yes.
done that type of workshop at a very large conference. And then you took the stage at Speak Sell Shine. I reached out to you, and this was like the perfect timing.
Yeah.
And I will say, at this point, where we're watching this on November 8th, the government is still shut down, so to
Yes,
speak, and
yes.
there's a lot of people in government that are on furlough.
Mhm.
You went through Speak Sell Shine, and then right after that, what happened?
So I am still on furlough. I am a I am a federal employee in my business, in my day-to-day work.
Mhm.
I'm a federal employee, but again, I'm a project manager by trade. And going through Reclaim. So Reclaim was, it, I'll say, the threshing floor. When I talk about when I think about how did I get here and what was the process, I had to really go use this whole process on myself. Look at it. How did you get here, Senita? Because I didn't think I had anything to offer. I thought Peace on Patuxent was it. And Peace on Patuxent is not it. Peace on Patuxent is a nonprofit. Nonprofits fit a need, whatever the need is, and once it's up and the need has been met, you move on. That stays and you stay. It stays there. But the nonprofit cannot fund. It can fund itself, but rarely do they.
Mhm.
And so, in looking at that, I looked at the process and I coined it as reclaim, research, engage, communication, listening, applying, implementing, and mentorship.
Mm.
And it's not just a list of acronyms. It is what I did. It was
Yes.
what was poured into me. The research was always there. I didn't know that when I was showing up at the support groups and at places that my mother didn't even go. I didn't know I was doing research. I had no idea. Didn't know that. I just thought I'm here. I didn't know that we were going to be there. I have sons and daughters, and they still talk about how we went through that process. And it was the research, engaging. I could have just been like, okay, I got it. All right, I saw, see what you're doing, and I'm gonna move on. But then I wanted to know more. I went down further. I did, and I talked to people. How do you do this? What do we need to do? I traveled. I began to raise funds. I didn't have anyone that was going through it at the time, but I still wanted to champion for the women. So I
Mhm.
engaged and I saw what was and wasn't working. And then when we went down to communicating, and then I started communicating, reaching out, talking to, as I said, talking to the American Lung Association, hammering those folks like continuously, and listening. When I started to listen, and this applied also on my job because I'm still working. My
Right.
coworkers and my colleagues, they were, to me, I thought they were leaders. And I was just somebody working, doing my job, but they were also my mentors. They were mentors, and we were all about research because I come from a
Mhm.
research community in the federal government. So
Mhm.
they were still watching me and they were talking, and I saw them still pouring into me, supporting me, and listening to them. I was listening to them
That's
because
important.
when you see people, I'm going to reference TD Jakes. TD Jakes said people tend to define you by how they met you, but you really got to see beyond them and not just listen like, okay, I want to know more. And
Mm.
that's the listening and engaging. Let's talk about this.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's what they did for me. And
Mm.
so when we began to implement, they taught me implementation, how to go to leadership training, and then ask somebody, can you come and listen to me, give me feedback? All
Uh-huh.
of that was a part of it. So when I started the research in the beginning, I grabbed mentors. I had mentors. I believe in mentors. I believe in women, but
Mhm.
women helping women. So all
Mhm.
of that came together. And then when my mentor said, Senita, you need to get a mentor. No, he said, no, he didn't say that. He said, Senita, you need to be a mentor. And I'm like, what? I still want to hold on. He was like, you can, but you need to be a mentor. So I knew that, when I look back, and all of this was in hindsight, trying to develop a for-profit for the things that I've had. I
Yes.
did not mention that I came from a family and a community of entrepreneurs. That was
So
that
so that was always the little acorn that was in there always anyway. It just
right.
was waiting for the right time.
Exactly. So with all
And
of
this
that,
and this time is really good. I mean, the
yes.
timing couldn't been better. You could have did Speak Sell Shine last year. You could have did it
Right.
the year before
Yeah.
because you were still there, but you did it this year because
Yes.
it's all falling into place.
Absolutely. And that's the reclaim. That's Senita M. Hill Consulting. How to help other women, other people, leaderships to come from doubt to clarity. How do we
Yes.
move that? Because you have it in you. And for me, everyone doesn't see mentorship the same, and they don't participate in it. But somewhere in there, you got what you need, and if you don't, let's figure out how you can get it. And it's
Mhm.
the same for going back to peace on Patuxent, because women don't really they're not good, and I saw it with my mom. They don't want to go to a support group. That's just another extension of their treatment.
Mhm. That's so
However, if you give them like we do, we send door to door, limousine, door to door, pick them up. They come when they arrive. They are greeted with a fanfare and
Oh.
crowned with a
Oh.
crown and a red carpet.
Oh my
And
god.
they are fed. They are fed, and it is like a bed and breakfast. They have their own room, and then they begin to open up, and they want to talk to the woman next door, who may be from a whole different place, and they're like, "Oh my God, you can I take the dishes?" And it's like, "No, the team is here. The volunteers, they're here to serve you, to honor you. It is
Mm.
not an extension of their treatment." So then it becomes a community, and then they're saying, "Okay, I get it. I get it. I get that whole piece, and that's
Mhm.
what it's all about." And now they're here. So that's
Ah, that is such a beautiful story. That is why you are on the cover of this magazine this month, and
thank
that
you.
is why the top speaker award for women's issues. You are just about it. So let's talk a little bit about when you saw the top speaker. So you're in Speak Sell Shine,
Yes.
okay? And you called me and you said, "Oh, I'm in Speak Sell Shine, and I see that you're doing the top speakers award at Speak Sell Shine." She says, "I think I want to go for it." I said, "Okay."
Mhm.
And I'm thinking like just out the gate, just fine. It's open to everyone because it's by nominations by popular vote. So the community votes and they vote for the
Yes.
person that has the most passionate. Surprisingly, David M. Walker, he won. He was
Mhm.
the Speaks of Shine last year. And
Okay.
then Kelsey Nicole, who was our journalist on site, she won for this year. And then I did not know when I looked in the envelope, right? It's like you won. And so how did you feel when you won the Top Speakers Award for Women's Issue?
Elated, elated. Oh my gosh.
People
It,
knew
it
your heart. People knew your heart. They were like, "She is about it."
and it was my community and my peers.
See,
that was that was more like shocking. Like, and they were calling me saying, you know, you gotta vote every day. Oh, I gotta vote. Did you know I gotta vote? Did you vote today? And I was like, I don't know. Look, I'll just vote.
and they're
Look,
telling you, see, that's what I'm saying. That is a part of being a community. It really is. People who are for you, people who really are for you. I said the other day, you know, and I'm about community and I'm Speak Sell Shine is a cohort, Ready Set Go Speak, that's a community. But then I said something the other day too, and I said maybe 2026 is a time to tighten your circle. You don't need everybody in the circle, just the right people in the circle. And
mhm,
so I said it from the standpoint that it's not a numbers game trying to get as many. You want quality. And so people in your circle are really for you. It's a
mhm,
small group, but they're powerful and they're mighty. And
mhm.
that's what Peace on Patuxent is. That's what you did with being the top speakers for women's issues because we had 140, almost 150 people that were nominees. Okay. That was a lot of people. And so they had to vote. And so a lot of people had, quote unquote, have been speaking for a long time, but they didn't have the part that you had,
My
which
God.
was a community
Yes.
and people, and that's part of your framework, you know, doing the research, really making sure that you're engaging,
Mhm.
making sure that you are you
Communicating.
communicating, that
Mhm,
you're listening.
mhm.
That part right there, doing the research, you know, engaging and listening is really a part of that. And then the mentorship,
Yes. Yes.
having listening to coaches and mentors is very
Yes.
important. People can be
Yes.
very hard-headed, especially if they're over a certain age. It's like, "I got it already," or if you're over 50, you think you already have it. If you're under 30, no shade to you, Monet. Sometimes I'll say, "I don't need that. I have Google. I
Exactly.
have my daughter tell me, I have
Yes.
ChatGPT."
ChatGPT.
What?
That's it. That's it.
You don't need a mentor? You don't need wisdom from a person?
Exactly.
So I was
Exactly.
like, okay, so it's like these whole things, but it is about really listening and making
Yes.
sure that you are connecting with people, engaging with people, and reaching out to people. I want people to make sure that they go to Peace on Patuxent, and it's right now. It's really in Patuxent, which is where you are, but it's really. Um, do you see the a goal one day of being uh, not a franchise, I guess you would say, but
I do. I
um,
I understand.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
More peace on Patuxents.
y
Yes.
yes,
Yes, more peace. And of course it'll go with whatever wherever we
the
are.
community
And
is, yes.
yes, so peace on Patuxent actually is the name of the Patuxent is the name of the road that we sit on.
Mhm.
And we actually sit on the river. The river is you could take a walk. So if a woman wanted to walk, she could
Yeah.
go down to the river walk, which is a couple of blocks away. And the
Mm.
Patuxent River runs through Maryland. We had to, as talking about zoning, we had to get zoned. This is a residential neighborhood.
Oh,
So
right.
we had to be zoned. The city I had to go before the board, I had to get voted, we had to do a lot of things. Now I say that's why we talk about it being my property. We had to get exit signs. We had to bring it up to code so that we could bring persons in. This is not a bed and breakfast. This is
Right.
a actual residential business that we had to.
Facility. Right, right. Yeah.
So, and then we had to get them to understand respite because some people think of respite as, oh, it's a nursing home and we can come and live, and it's not. So, our
Mm.
first game when we did the open house, it was okay, let's talk about what respite is. There is respite for so many things. We get breaks to go. If you were our foster parent, you get a break to you get time to go and have time by yourself, foster
Mhm.
trips, so that you can just get away from your foster child that you picked up.
And caregivers,
Right.
yes,
And
caregivers.
caregivers, they get a weekend away. But what
Mhm.
about the women? Aren't they caregivers? Aren't they daughters? Aren't they going through stuff? Why can't they have respite? So that
Yes.
is respite. And so we did all the right things, as you were saying, with the systems. We put all those in place because I believe that a woman in my community and in many of our communities, she is the backbone of our family and she's our most precious gem. And I
Mhm.
have to honor her as such in
Mhm.
her time. And if she doesn't know me or our volunteers from a bag of beans, but she's willing to get in that car and come here. And we have to honor her and
Mhm.
treat her with most, the high most. And
You got
so
the red
that's
carpet. They
yes,
come in there with the fanfare, and that is you're celebrating them, and that
yeah,
makes them feel really good going through a
yes,
lot of different
absolutely,
things. So
absolutely.
Imma have Monet bring up our,
Okay,
magazine here and the cover and all of that, and this was just shout out to, Jeff Brooks as well,
yes,
as she puts a cover up,
I got one too.
Monet. Yes, that she has it there as well. So yeah, Jeff Brooks did the photos for the Speak Sell Shine
Oh my
folks,
gosh.
and yeah, that was but well, let's shout out first to the stylists that we had. The
Yeah,
stylists kind of like before Speak Sell Shine, they kind of talk with everyone like what is your colors, what's your power, what is your style.
yes.
And this hit it like 100, right? This hit it 100. Jeff did the picture. We got the to show that you're in the DC area. We had the DC stuff in the background and that pose with the mic. And then it's really just talking about power, purpose, and philanthropy. That's
Yes.
really it. And so shout out to Jenny Dewberry
Yeah.
for really just, giving us that. And then the makeup artist as well. He did a really, really good job. Ruben,
Yeah.
thank you for that. And just everybody, just it all, when you're putting together a magazine cover, it's not only just the theme and the picture, but also the depth of the person and getting their personality of where they're from, with that kind of thing. So yeah, so and I was telling someone the other day. So this was November. October was blue as well. So we had a blue cover. And so blue was like the color going on. Betty loved her blue. She's from the DC area as well. She was
Okay.
women elevating women. So she had blue as well.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, we all got this kind of blue here, but I love
My
this.
blue. Yeah.
It's blue is a trusting color.
Okay.
And if you do any kind of thing about colors and that kind of thing, orange is urgent. Uh, green is a color that it brings growth and wealth, and a lot of
Mm,
banks are kind of green, and
okay.
and red is like really that kind of passion or
Mhm.
hot pinks and that kind of thing. So anyway, but the blue is trusting. You will find that blue
Okay.
is like a color that a lot of serious companies and nonprofits use blue. So
Mm,
that's kind of thing. So yeah, so I love this cover. Love cover.
all
Founder
right.
and executive director of Peace on Patuxent. I'm so glad. Or Poppy,
Yes.
if people can't say Patuxent. So, I was practicing it, right? So Patuxent, and then really a award-winning Top Speakers Award for Women's Issues Strategic Leader, Consultant, and Workshop Facilitator.
Excellent.
And the workshops that she does are some of the ones that can help you if you want to put together a nonprofit, can help you figure out those steps, or any other type of project management type of workshops as well, or the reclaim method that really she talks about as well. So yeah, so let's kind of go to the next page here where we kind of do the Top Speakers Award, and these were the other people that won as well. Rashawn McDonald, Mentor of
Mhm.
the Year. He's
Yes.
a person that I listen to. He's a person that I can call upon. He has been a very faithful friend. I've known him for over 10 years now, and without a doubt, he is not only been a mentor to me, but other mentors to my client. He was a mentor to Dexter B. Jenkins as well for his event. Just really, he's worked with Steve Harvey, and he's working with Stephen A. Smith, and
Mhm.
he just about knows everybody. Because you talked to him the other day, so he
I
knows
did.
everybody,
Yeah.
and he cuts to the chase. That's what I like about him. He's not trying to sugarcoat things. He'll tell you from what has worked, what hasn't, and he gave me some advice and things that we'll be implementing at the next Speak Sell Shine.
Okay.
The other person next to him there was your cohort.
Yes.
Again, she won for Rising Star Award
Yes.
because of the Rising Star. She was homeless before
Yes.
she started her journey in her business, and now it
Mhm.
has grown to
Yes.
really exponential. And now she's teaching other people. I think sometimes when we go through things, and Sunita, you probably know this too, when we go through things, it's not just for us, but once we're on the other side, we need to reach back and help others. And that's kind of like it's like a calling God put
Mhm.
on your life.
I
And you did it. I mean, you would rather have your mother here, but if you had not had your diagnosis or your mother had her diagnosis Peace on Patuxent wouldn't be around.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
so that's one of the things, and it's able to bless other people
Hmm.
now and then years later,
Yes.
in the future, and legacy. That's really the whole point, and that's what
Mhm.
Melody
Yes.
Augustine Roberts is talking about, of
Hmm.
really making sure legacy, that
Yes.
she does that. Next to uh, the Melody was Kelsey Nicole Nelson.
Yes.
You interviewed with her at the press
Yes.
club,
Yes.
and that was a really good interview. That's in your speaker reel too.
Yes.
So if we go to Monet, go back to the cover really quick and just hover over that. You'll see that right there. If we click it, can you click it? Okay. Yes, there she is. Okay. So if you click it, her speaker reel is in there. And so her interview is in there with Kelsey, who is part of
Mhm.
that as well. And I like that outfit as well, too. That was styled by Jenny Dewberry. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
So we'll go back to that. So you'll see her whole talk there as well. And
Mhm.
then obviously we had Dr. Sorelda. She won top motivational speaker of the year. You were
Yes.
top speaker for women's issue. And then there's Dr. David M. Walker. He's the last one there. The person that wasn't there was
Yes.
Tanika Pack. She wasn't there, but she won the top health and wellness speaker. She wasn't
Okay.
pictured, but she won that as well. So yeah, so that is what happened at the Howard Theater. And I was really, the first year that we actually did that. We'll do it again next year as well, and invite more people, the public, to actually come to it as well, so they can come and partake and celebrate with us as well. So I really, in the Howard Theater, just so that you know,
It
I
is.
come all the way from Detroit because I love that Howard Theater. I love the lower level where you have
Yes.
the graffiti walls of all the famous Black people. It's just such a good feeling.
Mhm. Mhm.
I just love that history part of that. So yeah, let's go on to the next page here,
Beautiful.
where we talk about some of the other cohorts as well. So we
Yes.
have on this particular page, Willie Jolly showed up and he was at our event.
Mhm.
Sharon Morton, she was there, and again, she was part of our media panel that we had at the press club. And then
Yes.
that's all of us there at the press club as well.
Mhm.
And then Leslie Graham Andrews, she was there.
Yes.
We call her, she says her hair is her superpower. It's that
Yes.
beautiful silver hair, because you hear a lot about the men with the silver, what they call them, the silver foxes or
Yeah,
whatever. But
right.
she got it going on too.
She
Okay, she's
does.
a female version of that. That is really what it is. But she works as her day job is vice president of the National Urban League Fund
Yes.
Development,
Yes.
and she helps a lot of people with philanthropy. So this issue really is about power, power and philanthropy and purpose. And so
Mhm.
one of her main things is that she talks about grown women talk. And so that was the name of her book. And she's a proud AKA, and her and Stephanie Wall, they were kind of teasing each other. She went to Spelman, and so they kind of had going back and forth with them, just teasing each other. But one of the main things is Daisy Ventures, and Daisy Ventures was named after her mom. Her mom
Okay.
passed, and so a lot of the things, like I said, there's the out of pain birth purpose. And so her
Absolutely.
purpose now is really to speak and to really empower women, especially women, in terms of leadership and entrepreneurship as well. She also has a travel business as well. So
Mhm.
she's pretty busy.
Yes.
And Leslie does a really, really good job. I believe her speaker reel will be embedded. I just put it up, I think, the other day. Hover over that, Monet. I think is it there, or did I not put it there? Yeah, it's there. So her
Mhm.
speaker reel is there as well. So I want to make sure that people can see them, read about them, and hear them. That's really the whole point of that as well. So, yes, again, she's empowering women as well. The next person, too, um, is Natalie. Natalie came from Atlanta, and Cherise came from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, she came from Pittsburgh. So, both of these ladies are helping women in different ways. Natalie is a former IT executive at a Fortune 50 company, and her main mission is really to help women step and be more confident and courageous in their careers.
Mhm.
And she's a mentor. She has children's books. She's just really about, like, if I can get to children, women, young girls earlier, they can grow up into be confident women. So that's really her main thing about helping women lead with clarity, courage, and accountability. So
Mhm.
she's a coach. She did her talk at Howard as well, and so did Sharice. Sharice
Yeah.
is actually a social worker by trade, but now she's also a co-founder of Hand in Hand Counseling Services
Mhm.
and also Vitamin C Healing. So when she's got a book and she has a lot of things going on, but one of the things she does is it's called Swag, and it's a nonprofit that she does. Again, it's birthed out of purpose, but it's to really honor social workers. And social workers are usually behind the scene, and they're usually like those in the helping professions. When I'm talking about helping, like in the healthcare, mental nurses, things like that, social workers, they are on the front line, and they only get clients that have problems. Okay. So they only get clients that have like problems. And so that can weigh on them. And so
Mhm.
they very rarely have celebratory type of events. But she does. She's been doing it for almost a decade, celebrating social workers and that sort of thing with the swag awards. And she's doing that. But she does speaking and consulting. So Sharice Nance, her video will be in there as well. Talking about all the things that she does. You want to say anything? The ladies, have you met any of the ladies? Because you know how I had to make sure and speak so shine that you all meld together.
Yeah.
So, from who you've met so far, have you all had things like, wow, you're into that, or that kind of thing? So, kind of what have you seen?
So each one of them, I think I bonded with each one of them. I've already sent out an email like let's collaborate.
Hmm.
Why we haven't got to Wavitra. So Wavitra,
Yes, she's a DC.
Natalie,
Hmm.
Natalie and I, Natalie. When I heard of Natalie yesterday, it just changed, game changer. So
Yep.
we have time on our schedules to get together, but we're all so busy. It's like, okay, I put it out there, but let's get because look, let me tell you, Speak Sell Shine. This is truly a cohort. Cohort. This is not a joke. You
Right.
it's
Because
a
it's like she wants us to collaborate with the media, call them, talk to them. Da, da, da. Okay, Pam, what about, get in the magazine? It's
let me
like,
catch
okay,
my breath, right? So we're
yes,
all like in between catching our breath. How do we tag up? So Natalie and Sharice they're on my list, and
yes,
we have actually emailed each other.
good.
I've already met with
Oh,
Corlette.
I love
Dr.
her. Oh,
Corlette, right. We did a show, and I think one of the other ladies, I want to say Natalie, came in behind me. So we are just working with the little bit of breath that we have. Like, okay, let's collaborate right now. But we're all in the same place. And Wavija was funny. She was like, "Thanks for bringing it to the top of my email. We'll get together." And
yes,
we're like, we will do it because
yes.
soon we will have a break somewhere
Yes.
in
Because
here.
I see how all of you all have your unique things, but then I see where you can collaborate. And the first one that I told you I really wanted you to meet was Natalie Solomon, because
Yes,
she had went through a lot, tumors and
yes,
just a lot of things. And
yes.
so her business, because for her was to create a sacred space for
Yes,
her. And
yes,
then she realized that she was good at decorating and doing a bit, and that became a whole nother thing because that's that's peace for her. And I
yes,
said, oh my God, Natalie, you and Senita
yes,
need to
yes.
meet. Okay.
And to me, I think Natalie is close to me. She's not far, maybe 20 minutes. So
Wow.
we have been Natalie, if I recall, we met at Speak Sell Shine at the
Hmm.
actual award ceremony. And so
Hmm.
again, it was just a power packed day, and we met, and that's how we found out we live not far from each other.
Wow.
But we're following her because I'm so excited that she's doing her TED. She did her TED talk.
She did her
I was
TEDx talk.
like,
She sure did. She
I
sure did.
I'm like, girl,
She was a cohort last year, but
yes,
she did another talk this year. But yeah,
yes, yes. So,
that is
oh my
Natalie.
gosh. So,
Yes.
yes, so I'm just, trying to make sure, even if I don't connect with them today, that I still honor and lift them up and let each one of them know that I am in your corner. I'm here, and I couldn't be here without them. I just
Yes.
could not.
Yeah, yeah, that is good. That is good.
Yeah.
Natalie and Sharice, they are really, really good.
Yes.
And then we go to really talk about your story in full. Monet,
Mhm.
we flip the page here to um, this one right here again, the top. women's
Yes.
issue speaker for top speakers there, and that's you with the microphone and the award. And then really just talking really about your personal mission and your reclaim framework that we talked about earlier so that people will know. And it's a movement. It's really,
Hmm.
really a movement. So I really, really love the shout out to Jeff for those photos there, animated. I mean, we do need a traditional headshot, that is true,
Right,
but I
right.
like the animated photos as well. So those are the things. And we have content. You have a lot of photos. I think probably over 100 photos.
Oh,
So we can load them up in Canva and flip them around. You can even, like, in some instances, even change colors on the
that's what
dresses.
you say.
You
I'm
really can.
learning.
Yes, it's a lot that we could do. It's a
Yes.
lot that we could do. So
Yes.
yeah, so take a look at that. That's at speakersmagazine.com. And then the
Absolutely.
next one we were talking about, White Vitra. Again, she's in that DC area as well. White Vitra just really killed it. Oh yeah, her speaker reel is in there. Can Monet, can you kind of open that up a little bit? Yeah,
Yes.
open up her reel.
Let and let me
Yeah.
tell you, why Vitra is awesome. So you all did a TikTok, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
and you all did, and I was like, "Where's the TikTok?" So you did a TikTok, and from the audience, I was her backup, and so I'm sitting there, and her TikTok and your TikTok song was Little Kim. So
Right.
I'm out in the audience, and they're looking at me like, "And you know Little Kim?" I'm like, "I sure do." So when I emailed Wavitra, I said, "And I will be your backup any day because
She loves Lil Kim. She does. That was that we kind of laugh about that. I said, we're gonna have to do a TikTok right after your talk, okay?
look, I can't even tell you who mine is, but if I knew every word, I was on point with her on Lord Kim. So Stephanie Walls and Dr. Colette was looking at me like, "And girl, you know all of this."
I remember they did look at you like, she knows all that. It's just, don't let that little, like, I'm a government worker project manager. It's like, no, but underneath I'm Lil Kim.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah.
yes, it was a good time.
Yeah,
Yes,
why
Wavitra is
Vitra does
powerhouse.
a lot in leadership as well. I knew you all would really get along.
Hmm.
She had been in government for many years, I think
Yes,
23 years,
yes,
and then she, um, for whatever reason,
yes.
departed. I don't know if it was mutual or whatever, but she went and then really started doing her real estate. And then from real estate, she became a broker. And then she got a mortgage company and a title company. And it's a whole thing in Prince George County. It's like its whole
Absolutely.
building. And a lot of it is people want to know how she did it. So she teaches now women, especially women, on leadership training and how to really run a business.
Hmm.
And so in again, she in her facility she brings in other speakers as well, so she could bring you in because really her brokers, I think she has like 60 brokers
Hmm.
under her the home team.
Yes,
And so she really has other people come in and speak to those women and really,
yes,
motivate them and inspire them and that sort of thing. So yeah, so White Vitra is turning real estate success into life lessons from the stage. That's
absolutely,
what she's doing.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
you got to watch her talk. It's so cool. She really,
Mhm.
she really did a good job. And then Dr. Teresa Jeter. Dr. Teresa Jeter is brilliant. I definitely want you to meet her. She knows all
Yeah,
the grants. She
it
is so low key about it. She's just got like I think it was it a
was.
$6 million
Yes,
grant?
indeed. I want to say 600, but yes,
It
I
was
met her. We met the first night. I was like, I'm not letting we were both getting food the first night. I was like,
yeah,
okay, wait a minute, we need to talk because
yeah.
I think I confused and I told her, I said, are you my Vitra? Because I didn't understand how you
Well,
changed your hair and why Vitra hadn't showed up. And she said, I'm Dr. Jeter. I'm like, well, you're always on camera because we met for the first, was it first 2.5, 3 months on camera.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
to meet everyone that night, for us all to meet, I was like, you have got to, and even if you're tired, I don't care. You have got to network. You got to
yeah,
talk. You got to meet women. And Dr. Teresa and I, we chopped it up the first night, and I
yes.
was like, and yes,
I love her. She teaches on an academic level
yes,
about philanthropy,
yes,
about fundraising, about grant making,
powerful.
grant uh, research, all of that.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so community development is really her main mission that she talks about. And when you say community, her community, our community, the Black community, of
Absolutely.
how to really build it up by using the churches as a cornerstone and then building out. And so that may be where it's a church that says, hey, I want to start a respite as well, or so I see a lot of collaboration there. She's written like 100 books, no, but at least 8 books. And she told me the other day, I have another one coming out next month. I'm like, wow. I said, can we slow it down? Let's market the last one you did. That came out a few months ago. But because she's an
Oh,
academia,
yes,
it's
yes.
really, really important that she writes books. And one particular book that she wrote is a required reading for one of the classes where I think she's in Indiana. I want to say Ball University,
Yes, yes.
and one of the books is like required. So, when you have your book required as a textbook, it's a big deal.
It
It's
is.
a big deal. It's like everybody who takes that course is going to got to get her book. So yeah, I'm really, really proud of her.
Me
And
too.
I had her holding that sign, and I know that was so unlike her because she's so like, "Eh," but I said, no, hold it and just have fun with it. And so I put that picture in there for her.
Yes,
So
yeah.
thank
And
you.
I really, let me tell you, believe it or not, I really identify with Dr. Jeter more than anyone because it's easier to be quiet. And,
Yes,
and
yes,
and as I said in the beginning, I just wanted to win the award. I just wanted to
right,
be the award winner. Who knew? Like, Cindy, and in truth, you say you wanted to just be the award winner, but you're competitive, and
right.
so here we are. And so
That was it. That was
was a
it. You
little
was like,
nudge.
"Oh, I wanna win it." Because I don't wanna just wanna enter it, I wanna win it. I
Right,
was like,
right, right.
"Okay." I said to myself, "She probably will win it." And I didn't wanna pick. I didn't wanna pick. I said, "It's a popular vote." I
Absolutely.
said, "Because I don't want them to say, well, these are just Pam's top speakers." It's like,
Right,
"No, no,
right.
no. This is
Mhm.
popular vote." So that's really
Yeah,
it. And people didn't have to pay to vote. They had to do it based on their time. So
absolutely.
I didn't want it to be like, "Oh, well, they had the most money, so that's they paid to vote." Mm-mm. No, this is a community. This is a
Absolutely.
community. That's what it
Absolutely, yeah.
was. That's what it was. And then Dr. Colette, I love Dr. Colette. She came all the way from Vegas.
Yes, you did.
She's from Vegas, and
Yes,
she
you did.
really is in her encore career, I guess you would say. She spent many years working for an establishment brand, Don King in Las Vegas.
Mhm,
And she was the person that was really like their CFO
mhm.
and helped them with COO. I'm sorry, COO, not CFO, Chief Operating Officer.
Yes.
So now she's talking about leadership and lioness lead strategy. And that's one of the things that she's talking about. Kingdom influencer. She's an
Mhm,
elder.
mhm.
She's a doctor. And so faith and business is really her main thing. And I really like the fact that she's unapologetic about her faith, just like Chick-fil-A is unapologetic about their faith. They're not
Absolutely.
open on Sunday. Or David Wyatt, he's a technical company. He wrote a book called Business by the Good Book. Basically, everything he learned about business was from the book of Proverbs, he said, because it was the wisdom. He just reads it every proverb, every chapter, every day for 30 days. And it really made him a multi-million dollar company. So I just find that most people who are spirit led Christian people who are walking their faith need to be more bold about it. And she is bold about it. And that's why she called it the Lioness Leads. So she's in her next chapter, man.
Yes,
Just watch out.
yes.
Like you said, you were on her show.
Absolutely.
And she's going to have a show on the Leading Edge Network, which we're going to be talking about later in another
Right.
webinar. But the Leading Edge Network, because she's actually met Colette probably about 15 years ago, and she just had a talk show on Blog Talk Radio, and we talked
What
about that.
she did, she told me. But because I was on her show, she was like, and I've already interviewed Dr. Pam, but I'm gonna do it again. I was like,
Yeah,
this is so awesome. And she's so comfortable. As you said, she
she
is so
is.
comfortable.
That's
No,
like one of her main
yes.
gifts of really listening and that sort of thing. And she's reintroducing her book that's going to be coming out, From Teenage Mom to Empowered Woman, because she
Absolutely.
had a child at, I think, 16. I believe it was,
14.
or
I
15 or
think she's so 14. And yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's really going to be talking about that. And then the Tower of Power, Miss Dr. Stephanie Wall.
Oh
She's a
my
hoot.
gosh.
She is the Tower of Power, inspiring 1 million lives. And that's really her main thing, is talking about the rise and, really bringing other people along with her. So she's a certified Gallup strength coach. She's into a lot of neuroscience, and she talks about leading from within. And I just really, really just appreciate Stephanie. She is a person that uh, just how do you say it? She has such a good sense of humor that when you meet her, you felt like you've met her before because she
Yes,
just makes you
yes.
feel really comfortable.
Mhm.
And one of the things is she's just always inspiring. So really, 1 million lives transformed. That's what it things that you can find out how she really wants to make an impact and help people transform their lives like she did. And she talks about how she came from very poor poverty in her story and how she moved up to different areas. She was a police commander in the
Mhm.
area and
Mhm.
moved up from there. And then now she's doing something else. It's you find this about leaders. Wherever you put them, they're going to always lead. It doesn't matter what field you put them in; they're going to just end up leading, just because they have that type of
Thank
personality. Not
you.
they're aggressive. It's just that they listen to people, they watch people, and then they inspire and encourage people.
Yes.
That's what they did. Both of them, Dr. Colette and Dr. Stephanie as well. So yeah.
Those women, and I will say, and I know we got Jennifer, but they all, I believe we all, and including the men, we haven't even talked about them. They all to me are sisters.
Mhm.
They are sisters. Dr. Quillette, to be able to talk about, to stand in her truth and to be able to share it. She was able to help me immediately. And I knew that the Spirit had led us because I was, I shared with her after she shared with me, I was able to talk about my mother,
Mhm.
who was also a childhood mom,
Mhm.
and to honor her. And it was just the right place, the right
Mhm.
timing. Stephanie stands in her truth for
Yes.
her to just be there boldly and to say, I know what you think, but let me tell you how I use it and what this means to me. So I
Mhm.
correct it. I felt like they were bookends. We all
Yeah.
sit at the tables and they were just like two gigantus uh,
Yeah.
bookends that just held that table together.
Mm.
And,
Mhm.
and on the other end came
Why
in
beach?
Leslie and
Oh,
Wavitra. So they are all just sisters to me. I was like, I could not have been placed in a better place for all of this to happen. So
yeah.
yeah,
Everybody had their own unique, and I was like, this was handpicked where they could be together
yes,
at this particular
yes.
time. And then Jennifer, when you have a conversation about technology, this last page here, Monet, she will hold it down. Okay.
Yes.
She has been a tech person from way back and she knows all about AI. I know AI just came on the scene for a lot of people, but she's been into it for a while because she's a software engineer and she won a the Guinness World Record for software engineering, that kind of thing.
Mm,
So she's just like really, really powerful. And she's hailing from Atlanta.
okay.
And this month is national, I want to say National Women in AI month or something like
Okay.
that. So I told her to leverage that as much as she can. I think October was. I told her to leverage it as much as she could. But one
Hmm.
of the things too is that she is a yeah, Guinness World Record holder was one,
Hmm.
but her
Hmm.
company is called Nexoral Strategy Consulting, which really helps people with cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and really just strategies and innovation in terms of that. But
Powerhouse.
I really enjoy meeting her. I met her the first time with Dr. Ola, who's part of Ready Set Go Speak, and she was on the stage there with Dr. Ola's event and royalty speaks, and so I met her there, and when she started talking about computers and things, she just lights up. I mean, she knows how to really
Yeah.
all the tools, all the things. It's like, oh my god, like I was telling her, I said, well, you can take your picture and you can change the color. I mean, because she knows how to do all that. She knows how to do all of those things. So it's
Powerhouse.
really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And so everybody who is part of Speak Sell Shine, they don't just have the 2 days. They stay with me for a year and Ready Set Go Speak. So it's part mentorship. I give you media training and media outlets and just really your accountability, just to say, hey, how's
Mhm.
it going? Because
Absolutely.
for a lot of you in Speak Sell Shine, you do what you do, but marketing is not always like the main thing that's your focus. And
Mhm.
so I try to help you focus on the marketing as well. So if no one really talks to you about marketing PR, for the most part, everybody would just kind of like go on and keep doing what they're doing. But it's like, no, let's amplify it, what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
So if Jennifer has a book that's dropping, it's like let's drop a press release about it. Let's get it
Mhm.
out there,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
that's what
Mhm.
Ready Set Go Speak is about.
Yeah.
And anybody can join Ready Set Go Speak.
Yeah.
It helps you. get ready to stay ready. The whole thing is like you don't have to get ready if you're already ready. That's really what Ready Set Go Speak is. It's like all the coursework is in there. You meet with me, you meet with each other and collaborate. And then the last one is, could get on the wait list for 2026.
Yes.
For Speak Sell Shine. The last page there just kind of talks about it. It's like a collage of, yeah, we can go to the last page.
Mm-hmm.
A collage of everybody there. There's Melody
Yes.
and there's
Yes.
Cherise, and even we had the anchor there, Elise. Is it Allison? I'm sorry, Allison was there.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, she's really, really good, and she said to reach out to her at any point in time too, as
Yes. Allison
well.
Seymour. Mm-hmm.
Mhm, Allison Seymour, she's a beautiful person. She's a
Okay.
beautiful person. She and I think she's a Delta. I think she's a Delta with Stephanie. They
Yeah.
kind of talked about that as well. But yeah, that was the thing. So they could get on the wait list by going to speaksellshine.com, be a part of the cohort. And one of the things too, I can say now it's 1 o'clock, but at 2:30 we're going to hold a webinar about the new Leading Edge Network. And this was something that has always been in my heart because obviously I love TEDx talks and things like that. That's really good. But TEDx is really just a stage that gets promoted where people watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're going to do is everyone who has a Speak Sell Shine speaker reel will be on the have their own channel. So this channel will be every cohort who has, it's roughly been about what, 2 460 of them, they will be on this channel. So
Okay.
when people want to watch it, it'll be on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, but everybody's talk, just like a TEDx talk,
Yes.
will have its own channel. So that's where we're going with this. So it's like that is the main thing because I'm trying to make sure that as many people are exposed to all the wonderful people who've gone through Speak Sell Shine as possible. So I
Mm-hmm.
just dropped the T. Like I said, I'm a publicist. I can't hold it. I'm gonna tell it. I'm always gonna say it before, unless it's embargo. But this isn't an hour or so. But if you
Right.
are a part of Speak Sell Shine, your speaker reel will be on the new network, the Leading Edge Network, which we'll be talking about at 2:30. So
Yeah.
that is it. And they are all good. They're all good. Just more people need to see it. That's it. Just more people need to see it. So with that, thank you so much,
Thank
Senita.
you.
Oh
Thank
my
you. Thank you.
goodness.
Thank you. And Pam, Dr. Pam, I want to say that when I left the National
Press
Business
clip.
League
Okay.
Conference,
Business.
when I left them, I knew that I needed to start doing some other things, but I wasn't sure. So I just started following people. And I looked at the Afro was one of the magazines that I followed on my lunch break. I was at lunch and I was like, okay, wait a minute, what they talking about? And
I
you
love
were
Dr.
being
Tony.
interviewed by Dr. Tony.
Yes, I
And
love
you
her.
had said, and the word that made my ears perk up and made me start following you was mentorship.
Mhm.
And when
Mhm.
you said that you believed in mentorship, I was like, oh my goodness, I
Yes.
have got to follow it. And then you referenced your mentors. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have got to follow this woman. And
Mhm.
I tell you, it wasn't less than 3 months before we're here.
Oh
It
my God, that is
was less than
amazing.
3 months. So
That is
I,
God. That really is.
exactly. So I
That
just
is.
want to give you your flowers and say thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
thank you.
for opening the door
That
because
is
because it was crowded. But thank you for opening the door and
that
allowing me.
is so good. And keep in touch with Dr. Tony Draper. She is amazing. She is and she knows everybody too.
Okay.
She knows Bishop Vashti. Her and Bishop Vashti McKenzie are relatives, actually. They're
Okay.
cousins. They're
Okay.
first cousins. And she's powerful too.
Okay.
So yeah. So and Bishop Vashti McKenzie's good friends with Kathy Hughes. I mean, it's just you'll find, like I was saying, tighten your circle. Get
Yes.
in the circles with the people who are really doing things and who are about you helping them and you help each other. It's those kind of things where you're really collaborating, you're not competing. So that's what I just say that a lot. And just be aware of uh, things that, being attuned to the spirit. And then if something doesn't feel right, doesn't sit well, just know that there's probably God trying to tap you on the shoulder, say, oh, yep, exit left,
Absolutely.
exit left. So yeah, with that, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
also to want to shout out to Black Speakers Network. That's how all this has come about. collaborating, partnering with Brian. Brian believes in mentors as well. We wrote a book together, the Speak Up book, which everybody got in Speak Sell Shine.
Yes, yes.
And that was our mentors are the bookends of that. The forward, the afterword is by Les Brown. The forward is by Dr. George Frazier. So I got them to do that as well. So this is one of the main things that we are in this book together. So please, if you do not have this book, make sure you get it. It's on Speakers Magazine website.
Yes,
So with
indeed.
that, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today. This has been really good. This has
It
been
is
really
my
good.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.